Welcome to the Blogger Genius Podcast, brought to you by Milo Tree. Here's your host, Jillian Leslie.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Blogger Genius Podcast. I am your host, Jillian Leslie, and I'm a serial entrepreneur. I like to build businesses with my husband, and what I love is being a lifelong learner. So I get to learn from my guests on my podcast, and as we build products, I'm learning constantly, and I'm trying to metabolize what I learned so that I can share it with you. So right now, David, my husband, and I have rolled out our new product that I'm super excited about called Milo Tree Cart. It is a payment solution for selling digital products to your audience. So think of it as an easier to use and understand Sam Cart, Thrive Cart. It's much more cost effective because we don't charge a monthly fee. We only charge a small transaction fee, and we offer free hosted sales pages. So honestly, I think creators are going to be able to tap into new revenue streams easily with it. People ask me, well, what exactly is a digital product? So if you're wondering that, here are some examples. A digital product is a paid workshop, a membership, courses, coaching, a paid newsletter, ebooks, digital art, templates, printables, all of those are digital products. Now, as I am talking to creators, helping them one-on-one set up digital products to sell, I am learning so much. So today, I wanted to share a story of one call that I had this week that I thought was really interesting. But before I launch into the story, I want to give it some business context. One of the things that I talk about a lot is doing B- work, which is not A-level work. It is good enough work, but it's not just phoning it in because B- is above average. However, it is work that gets stuff done. So I talk about this all the time, and I will say I get the most feedback on the concept of B- work. Seems to resonate with people, especially people like me who struggle with perfection. And the other thing that I am constantly talking about is talking to your audience. Like I'm going to share this conversation that I had because you gain insights. You hear where people are, and it gets you out of yourself to empathize with somebody else, to hear their own struggles. And that way you can see where somebody is, where they're stuck, what transformation they're looking for. And then you can put yourself in there in a way of saying, I can help you with your own transformation. So that's why getting on these calls has been so helpful. And by the way, as a plug, if you want to work with me for free to set up a paid workshop, just reach out to me at Jillian@milotree.com and we'll get on a call, because this has been so enlightening, hopefully for the people I'm talking to and definitely for me. And then the third thing that I talk about a lot is this idea that you need to come up with a hypothesis, but to be humble about that hypothesis, because you might be right, you might know exactly what your audience wants, and you also might be wrong. And you know this because that weird kind of out of focus pin on Pinterest happens to be your number one pin, and you have no idea why. And that post on Instagram that you thought would blow up it's like crickets. So there's this element of surprise. When you're an entrepreneur, you think you know, and chances are most of the time you might be right, but you will not know for sure. And this is why I talk about testing your ideas. But like, how do you test your ideas? And how do you test your ideas fast? You know, the saying, fail fast, fail often. Well, it is really true, but it's harder to do in real life than it sounds. One of the reasons it's difficult is because logistically, how are you putting these ideas out there? How are you going in front of your audience and selling them? And then there's also a personal part that's hard. You put out something, and let's say you've created a course and you put it out in front of your audience and it doesn't sell. That can feel incredibly demoralizing. So how do you deal with that failure? I interviewed a CEO of a company, a founder of a company, and he said for his company, if we are not failing a lot, we're not pushing hard enough. We're not trying things that are like pie in the sky, but could succeed. And I always think about that. Like, that's really brave, but I don't think I'm that brave. I think I would feel too devastated, demoralized, rejected. So anyway, here's my story. I was talking to this friend, and he is a blogger. And what's interesting is he really is more, he's in a variety of niches. They're kind of related, but also they're very separate. So I got on a call with him to help him set up his workshop. And what he liked was using MiloTree Cart. It was really easy. We have sales page templates, and quickly we were able to come up with an idea for him to sell and put together a sales page. And he was pretty impressed with how quickly this came together. He said what was great about going through this exercise was it got me out of my thinking brain, and we were just able to go and put it up. Anyway, he goes out to his audience. So we give you a 14-day launch calendar where you can just follow along. And we give you templates for emails, sales emails to send to your list, and templates for social media posts. And literally you can just go day by day. And he said that he went through this and that was super helpful, but he got to the end and he only had one sale. And I said, wow, how was that for you? And he said at first it was a little painful, but because he hadn't invested much, he ended up reaching out to the woman and doing like a small consulting call. He was able to recognize that maybe this wasn't what his audience wanted from him. And he said the transition for him was that because he didn't invest so much in his idea or building it out, it was easier to let go and easier to say, maybe this isn't me. Maybe I'm just not connecting a solution to what my audience is looking for. And I thought that was really interesting. It is like, so what he was able to do was take the personal out. This wasn't a statement about his personhood. This was a statement about not having it connect. The market is the ultimate arbiter. The market will tell you if you're onto something. And guess what? The market told him this wasn't the right idea. And I could hear this change in his voice when he started talking about it like that. It was like he was able to kind of walk it off in a way that he hadn't previously, because then he shared that he had built out 2 courses that didn't sell. And that was demoralizing. That somebody had said, oh, I'd really like to learn this from you. And he went off and he built a course, and I don't know how long it took him. And then when he went back to the person or people to say, hey, here's my course, nobody purchased it. And I say this all the time, please do not create courses, like unless you can pre-sell them, unless you can make them quickly. I will say, I think it is, if it works, you are very, very lucky, but I have seen it fail too many times. And if somebody finishes your course, like that is really shockingly rare. I think it's like 5 to 15% of people ever will finish your course, which leaves a lot of disgruntled people if you think about it. In fact, I was on a call today with a woman and we were talking about the courses that we've purchased where we didn't complete them. And I bought a course I was sharing this, for like $37, like an email course. And I still have not completed it. And my hunch is I won't. And I still feel unsettled about it. And it was $37. It makes me feel bad about myself. And I don't want to purchase from this person again. And I kind of don't want to follow this person anymore, just because when I think about her, there's nothing wrong with her. It wasn't like I didn't get duped, but it leaves bad feelings. So I just want you to know that courses seem like these awesome ideas, but they don't sell themselves. They're hard to make. And they might leave a bad taste in somebody's mouth, which is why, again, I think this idea of a workshop is so much more potent and doable and possible. So what happened was he said, this was kind of freeing because I usually teach in one of these 3 buckets. And maybe my audience just doesn't want bucket number 1. And maybe I need to be focusing on bucket number 2 and bucket number 3. And now I can come up with an idea and I can test those 2. And I could feel this sense of lightness because it wasn't personal anymore. It was testing like 2 puzzle pieces to see if they fit together. And this is called, in the business world, product market fit. And startups that raise lots of money spend a ton of time and money trying to figure out how their product fits with what their audience might be looking for. And because we all don't have those resources, we've got to be scrappier. Go sign up for a MiloTree card account and start putting up sales pages. Get my 14-day launch calendar, start sending emails, and start seeing what connects with your audience, because what you're looking for is somebody to take out their credit card and pay. That's it. That's the market. Here are some examples of workshops I have helped people set up where they've had tremendous success. So the first one was for bloggers, and it was how to make money working with brands. Another person set up how to jumpstart your native plant garden, how to bake French baguettes if you're a beginner, how to give up sugar without feeling deprived, and also how to use Instagram Reels for your business. Now, what I wanted to also share is this idea when you are ideating on what to teach, say for a paid workshop, which is where I recommend you start, think about that we are humans and we're all kind of similar and motivated by very similar things. So here are the 6 questions I would love it if you asked yourself. Here we go. Does your product make somebody money? We like money. We like making money, and I will spend to make money. So that's the first one. 2, does your product save people money? Because I like to save money, and so if you can give me some solution that will save me money, especially to make up for whatever the cost is of your product, I will purchase it. The third one is, does your product save time, make something easier, something complicated, but this is the hack or the trick or something like that. Okay. The fourth question is, does your product move someone away from pain? Like, think about it. You've got a painful shoulder. How much would you pay for somebody to fix that? Probably a lot of money, but it can be emotional pain. It can be, a messy desk that causes pain, whatever that thing is. If you can solve that problem, a pain point for me, I will pay for it. Okay. Does your product move you toward love? Like, it will improve my relationship with my husband or my daughter or make it easier at work for me. Who knows? But something where I will gain more love in my life, I will pay for that. And then the last one is, does your product raise someone's social status? So do you promise somebody more TikTok followers? We are these kind of hierarchical creatures. So is there a way that your product makes somebody look good in other people's eyes? So as you're thinking about your solutions, if you can slot them into one of these 6 buckets, you're onto something. However, I cannot promise you that it will sell, but I can promise you a free sales page, a free buy it now link, and email templates to go test it. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today, to say the market, testing stuff in front of the market, which is your audience, is not personal. And the more times you can do it, the less personal it feels. So just to wrap up, 1, B- work. Really push yourself to press publish on your blog post, or post that TikTok, or send that email, or come up with that product idea and put it out there. 2, talk to your audience. Get them to talk to you. Again, even if it's buying them a Starbucks gift card, something, just hear how they talk about their struggles, because you want to listen and you want to use their language in anything you are writing, in your copy. Feed it back to them. It speaks to this idea of take yourself out of the picture. It is all about your audience, your customer, and helping them with their own transformation. So you paint the picture of what their life will look like at the end, after the transformation. So like in a paid workshop, one thing that I teach is make sure to give your audience a tangible win. At the end of the paid workshop, it can be a small win, but it's not that the workshop just stays abstract. It's something that you can help them with so that when they leave, they feel like they have made progress. And then the third thing I talk about and I want to share is this idea of testing. And if you cannot take it personally when you test, you're golden, really, because you can then test idea after idea after idea to look for those puzzle pieces to fit together. And my next tip is do not make a course. It's just too hard. It will take too long. It will make you think you're working on your business. And at the end of it, you've got a course and now you've got to go sell it because it doesn't sell itself. Only 5 to 15% of your people are ever going to complete it. And that leaves a lot of people who will feel bad about themselves and chances are won't want to buy from you again. So really think about what is a better solution. And this leaves me with my final tip, which is it's like for all of you, my hope for you is to make money and build the career and the business and the life that you want, that you're hoping for. In fact, notice I am painting the picture of the transformation. See that? So please start thinking about digital products. They are much easier to sell than physical products. If you know something, if you are an expert with a small e, you've got a digital product in you. Chances are you've got blog posts that already could be turned into workshops or ebooks or anything like that. Think about those 6 questions that I asked you to kind of filter your thoughts and ideas through. And I'm very excited to announce that on July 21st, at noon Central Time, I will be hosting a paid workshop called the Paid Workshop Launch Plan. And I will be going through how easy it is to set up your own paid workshop. And the cost is $10. I welcome you all to come. And as one of the bonuses for coming to the workshop, you get to book a free one-on-one strategy session with me just to make sure you are on the right path. To sign up, head to launchplan.milotreecart.com. That's launchplan.milotreecart.com. I would love to see you there. Put it in your calendar, July 21st at noon Central Time, and I will see you here again next week.